So normally whenever I'm going to Iceborn, you know, I'm always taking Conqueror. You could take Ignite, you could take TP, you could take Exhaust, you could take TP if you want to. Or you could take Ignite Exhaust if you feel like it. Trust me, it actually does really well against Jax players. Um, for Iceborn, I don't really go into that in every matchup. You know, it's really shitty in a lot of matchups, but I take it mostly against like melee champions, so such as Jax, Tryndamere, Irelia, um, who is Darius, Garen. Like those are actually okay matchups to use Iceborn in, you know, but you still got to consider, you know, Triforce, Eclipse, Forest Claw, and other items that can basically do really well as well, you know, in those matchups as well too. But like I always say, always pick, you know, what works best for you, because mostly like everyone has like their own play style or prefer different types of play styles, such as like, you know, um, really heavy bruisers built. They don't like feeling squishy, so they probably would prefer like Triforce or Divine as a mystic item, you know, going into whatever else. And some don't mind like the heavy damage Yorick with the Eclipse or Prowess Claw, but you can still go into a bit of tankiness with Hullbreaker. But here I'm just trying to make sure that this wave doesn't push out. I'm trying to see if I can bait this guy's his Q, but this guy hold on to his Q so much it pisses me off, because you know whenever I'm facing a Jax, like they love to like just jump on you, like, you know, QW and just walk away. You know, if you try to attack them, they just press their E and you can't do nothing about it, obviously. um Here I tried to like catch him with it as well too, trying to get like as much benefits from my E as possible, like even get a few minions plus attack, hit Jax with it as well. That's a bonus. Again, I really don't want to push out too hard, especially against a champion that can, you know, completely shit on us. I think I still had my 4 pots. I didn't even like use my, yeah, I didn't even use any potion yet. I was happy that he auto attacked me there so I can get the cannon. If you didn't auto attack me there, I would definitely lost that cannon. And that would have sucked. Here I wanted to go back in and fight him because I know I have Conqueror. Like I have the upper hand advantage here. When it comes down to a longer fight, I can definitely beat him because he has tempo, but I get healing and I actually get damage increase, you know, over time from Conqueror. So it's really good. Yeah, I know he wanted to jump there. You know, I could have actually just accepted that because there's no way in hell he could have killed me. There's just no way. I had my flash up just in case, you know, maybe you know, he had a lot of damage and I wasn't expecting it, but I faced Jax so much that I know for sure he couldn't kill me unless he have Ignite. Yeah, here I messed up because I actually wanted to ask Gragas if he can help me push this out, but unfortunately he left. So I messed up here. Again, he can't kill me here even though you wanted to. Oh yeah. What up, yeah? Rolling good, yeah, man. So we're doing like a game review on this one. But there's actually a lot of games that I've saved off stream, right? Just so you guys can see. Here I actually made a big freaking mistake, bro. Like if I would have stayed in base for like a good 10 seconds, I could have come back with Sheen and also Boots, right? Because right here I just completely threw off my lead, right? If I make any mistakes here is because I was just stupid and didn't got Sheen at all, and that actually pissed me off when I went to the lane. Cause I'm like, no shit, why did I use my TP so early? It's like, god damn it. But either way though, we got cannon, so I guess it's okay. But still, I was really pissed off. I was like, come on. And I was just thinking, oh, maybe I can push out this wave and, you know, uh, base back and get my Sheen. And here, I real like from this game, I was definitely not warding a lot, and I should be warding much more, considering it's a Kindred. It's just at this point, and it's not an excuse. This would be a stupid excuse for me, honestly. It's just I have a plated steel cap, and I'm feeling like, oh, maybe I could take on Kindred, you know. So it's like I don't really have to worry about warding, and that's a really. It's not an excuse. It's just being dumb. So I should have actually put down some more wards from before, like earlier on. Yeah, is what I'm saying. Right here, I messed up as well too, because as you can see, Jax is going after the maiden. I have my flash up. My Q is, you know, is going to be up as well too. Instead of run away, because I know for sure, me doing this, I'm just trying to like reset the maiden, like get her out of the tower, you know, aggro. But what I should have done was actually stay around here, like stand here, wait a little bit, maybe walk maybe 2 steps, flash in Q, because this guy doesn't have any mana, right? It's only 13. He doesn't have enough for Q. Sorry, his E, right? So he can't block my auto. That's one thing's for sure. So I really messed up on that as well too. See, like if I was right here, I could have actually just walked 2 steps in and flash, and he would have died, because I know he doesn't have flash from before. So right there, I really effed up. Trust me, guys, I know my flaws, yo. You have to know, like, how terrible you're playing. Sometimes that's why it's really good to like review your games to see like what you could have done better. And don't always tell yourself that you played a great game, because sometimes like you would F up. And I'm not trying to say like, you know, you wouldn't have bad games, as in like, you know, your bot lane goes like, you know, 20 deaths or you know, or so. Like it happens, right? Or your mid lane, you know, it doesn't do that well, or your jungler doesn't gank, you know, shit like that happens, bro. It happens, and there's not much you can really do about it. So here I got Vest. I went back for Vest and the Sheen that I completely missed from before. Alright, gotta get some mana here, because definitely oomed. You don't want to walk into lane with no mana. It's not smart. If Yorick had some sort of ability that gives him mana, that'd be cool, but we have Presence of Mind. I was thinking when I was in this game, like, should I have run Presence of Mind? Would it have been better? Would it, you know, what would have been the outcome of that? Like, would I have a more easier, you know, matchup without feeling that you know, like my mana just getting depleted like insanely fast, honestly.
Won't you join them?
I hate that that W missed there. Here I'm like, yo, okay, this guy has some serious damage here, but I'm gonna take the fight to him too, because the minute you give a Jax or a player, you know, the need to feel like, oh, okay, well, I can actually beat this guy, is the time when you already lost lane. If you're taking damage, dish damage back, especially if Jax's E. I just baited the E there. If his E is down, kick his ass. Like, that's the only time you really have the chance to do it. Like, seriously, is Jax's biggest weakness is his E being down when it comes to Yorick. If the E is up, then you can't really trade with this guy. Alright, so Gragas is doing Gragas work, man. I think he played an outstanding game this game. If here I took the chance to base, because I know Jax is not there. It's rather he's doing Hero, but I don't want to take the chance to check that out at all. You know? No thank you. I don't want to die. So yeah, we just put our pots. Got our pink ward or control ward, however you guys want to call it. And I'm only like a few goal off for Iceborn now. Iceborn, like I said, guys, it kind of like helps because like Yorick already got like 10%, basically like 10% of his damage reduced from his E, right? So that's a lot of damage away from ghouls, and this allows you to reduce the enemy's damage by 10%. I mean like everything for 10% for 2.5 seconds or so. This game, I blocked over, what was it? I blocked over 4,000 damage, guys. I blocked over 4,000 damage. Yeah, right here I release my maiden. If I press my R, I release my maiden so she stays on Jax. And that's the thing that a lot of people have to understand. Like, if maiden's already on the target, just remember when you're walking away, you're taking away that aggro, right? Because she's gonna stop attacking. She's gonna eventually start following you, and that's what I don't want. I want her to stick on Jax because he can't stop her auto attack. He can't block it with his E. So that's like one of the benefits of having your maiden versus Jax. So yeah, we're just taking advantages here, man. So here she's gonna die, but I don't give a shit. Like, if I can have some sort of lead, that's all I care about. I honestly don't use I call it I don't go back on this platform too often, like just reviewing games and shit. So I'm not a professional when it comes to like fast forwarding without like clicking that without using this. Yeah. Hold on, what was the piece to fast forwarding here? I remember you could like press different things, like control something, like fast forward. But yeah, anyways, got our Iceborn. Just having these two items against Jax is already insane. Remember, Jax does a lot, and let me remind you guys, he does a lot of mixed damage. Jax is a hybrid champion. Okay, so there's times where like you would build. There's times when I go into Eclipse and I'm shitting on Jax. Yes, Eclipse is amazing against Jax. Proud Cloud is pretty good against Jax. But it's just the later stage of the game. I'm like, bro, like this champion does so much fucking damage, man. It just pisses me off. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to like, sugarcoat that shit. It pisses me off, bro. When I'm using my Q on this guy, he uses E, and I'm like watching my health bar drop, and then like within that 20-minute, 25 minutes, just watching my health bar drop, and I'm like, bro, was I not just ahead of this guy? Like, my items are way better than this guy. What the F, man? It's like I would zone him with Eclipse, Grudge, and whatnot, and I'm like, yo, why does it feel like I don't have damage? Like, if I use that same shit against an ADC or the jungler or whatever, they die instantly. But against Jax, like, this guy just walks through everything, right? And that shit pisses me off. Just being honest. But with this build, right, keep in mind Jax's E does magic damage. His passive gives him a shitload of attack speed. His Q does pure physical damage. His W does magic damage. Okay, magic. I believe it's magic. We can even click on Jax and check it out right now. Over here. See, so passive, a shitload of attack speed, a boatload of attack speed. When I was checking this out before, I'm like, yo, word, this guy does that much. He has that much attack speed. That's insane. So yeah, pure physical damage, guys. Okay, it's not a mix. Magic damage, pure magic damage. More magic damage, okay, and that's on his E. So you already see magic damage on his W, magic damage on his E. Remember, whenever he builds Shin, he does even more damage as well too. So take that in. And his ultimate, bro, is a mix. Like, plus, he has armor, magic resistance. So this is why, like, you guys would feel like you're not doing anything to this man. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna figure out a build that actually counters the shit out of Jax. Like, he counters us in the late game. Nah, fuck that, yo. We counter him in the late game. There's no such thing as Jax countering Yorick in late game, bro. Not with the build that I'm actually going into. So, without further ado, let me show you guys what's up. So we already basically counter like his physical damage. Like, that's already countered. We don't have to worry about that. So now we have to work on his attack speed. And I think you guys already know like what items work great against Jax attack speed. There's only one I have in mind. And there's only one we need, literally.
From below.
Like, I'm dealing with Xayah, I'm dealing with Jax, I'm dealing with Kindred. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, I don't need Omen. Omen wouldn't be bad, but I don't need Omen. So let's go into something else. You never thought of that? That's what you watch, cool guy. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, here I completely... Yo, if I can get my E. It's not even a mess up. It's just my E was on cooldown. Like, bro, if I had my E, I could kill him. I could freaking kill him. It's like, oh, nah, never mind. Never mind. I can only pray that, you know, one day Riot reduces the cooldown, you know, Yorick's E. Later on, though, Brand came up here and Jax was basing. And he just, like, waited. Used that W and just killed him. I'm like, yo, was there any wards there? I don't think there was any wards, but I guess he just guessed it. And that was a good guess. That was dope. That was really cool. But yeah, fast forwarding the shit, because I don't have all day. Just clearing this up. Nothing special. And another thing that I could have done here that I didn't do was take the advantage when it comes down to Herald, because I already have the lead. So there's no need for me to be here, right? I could just easily grab Herald and just start pushing through everything. And Jax can't do anything about it, right? So I think that was like one of my mistakes as well too here. Because you want to have a bigger lead, guys. That's the whole, you know, if you're ever ahead of a Jax, you need to take every single bit of like lead you can actually get from this guy. But here, I was thinking of going into, what is it? I was thinking of going into Executioner's Calling, because I'm dealing with, you know, Vladimir that's healing. Jax is going to go into like, what is it called? Divine, and also Blade of the Rune King, so he's gonna have a lot of healing. Jax players normally go into that build every time. It's rarely they go into Triumph or some other shit. They always go into like Divine, always, and it makes sense because it works well with his kit. So here he jumped in. He was not expecting Gragas to be there. Yeah, this made me laugh so hard. It's like, bro, I have Iceborn. You can't kill me. There's just no way in hell you can kill me. Is Eclipse strong right now? It was given a ton of shields over the course in the game. It still gives a lot of shield, my man. You still get a lot of shield from that, from Eclipse, and it's still good. Like, I think Eclipse is still a great item overall. It's just, it depends on the player. Again, you know, like, not many people like Eclipse. Not many people like Triforce or Divine, etc. You know, like, it really comes down to the player. But I like Eclipse. I think Eclipse is a great item. I like Prowess Claw, but it really depends. To me, all these items are like situational, including the Iceborn now I'm going into game with. Like I said, you know, like I've mentioned before, like if I'm going into this item, it's purely against melee champions. If I see a comp or whatnot with a lot of range, I most likely will never go into this shit. I would prefer going into Eclipse and just having a great day. So we have the Heralds here. Of course, I want to pressure top lane. See, the problem with Iceborn is that it doesn't have like the effect that it used to have before, whereas in like you have the AoE damage. The fact that they took away that AoE damage really makes this item a little bit weaker on the pushing side, right? Like, it literally doesn't provide any split pushing potential whatsoever. I don't know how my E missed that, by the way. Like, that made no sense. Okay, Jax used his Q here. So I just trapped him in. I know for sure he doesn't have to Q. And if he was to Q, he was going to go Q on the Herald. And I still have the range so I get away. There's a really big distance between me and him, regardless of what he does there.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
The life is good here. Went back, got the black cleaver. And this is where I feel very comfortable now facing Jax. Like I know for sure, like no matter what he does, I'm gonna outscale him. As I said, this build is just purely about outscaling the shit out of Jax players. If I wanted to make this better, I missed my cannon. If I wanted to make this better, I would have or should have gone into exhaust. I should have went into exhaust, and for sure Jax wouldn't. He could never beat me. It's impossible. Literally impossible.
The damned resist.
Yeah, Kindred is somewhat of a problem. I was checking Kindred's score. I'm like, oh, okay, she might be an issue. Here I was standing here and I'm like, I realized like Jax is running up. I'm like, why is he running up for, bro? I'm still on a ward, I'm guessing. But it doesn't even matter though, because I already know my jungler is here. So I was very confident when it comes to fighting Jax here. Yeah, big fight happening here. I used my E on Kindred here, just to slow her. But unfortunately, Gragas still died. I killed her, but it wasn't fast enough because my ghouls were too far away. This guy missed everything, dude. This guy missed everything, bro. I was like, how do you miss? How do you miss everything? How's that even possible? Looks like me missing like every single E in a fight. Like, do you know how sad I would be, bro? Yeah, that's the thing. I think you can only get up like probably 2 E in like a fight before you die or before the other person dies.
Bro.
But yeah, anyways, let's fast forward this shit. That made my day though when he missed all that. And he was laughing in chat. He's like, I'm so bad. I'm like, bro. I'm like, nah, it happens, bro. Happen. Okay, here, and this is really, 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 really important, ladies and gentlemen. All right, all jokes aside, do not ever go into Shroud before a effing Warden. Okay, this reduces basic attacks or attacks in general. Okay, do not, I repeat, do not build, what is it, Shroud. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Yeah, it gives you mana, it gives you a little bit of armor, blah blah blah. It's trash. Okay, always go into Warden when you're facing champs like Trinomir, Jax, Irelia, Fiora. Like any champs that you know is gonna be auto attacking the shit out of you, go into this first. All right, Camille, I guess Fiora's whatever, but Camille as well too is probably whatever because both these assholes does true damage. But definitely, if you're facing someone with a lot of auto attacks, just go into Warden, please. Don't do anything stupid. Go into it. Really, really good against Jax. So here, well, you already know we're going to Warden. So next item is going to be Frozen Heart. Like I said, we're all about trying to counter everything there is to this asshole champion they call Jax. Yeah, here I'm like, yo, we can actually do Baron. I'm telling Gragas, can we do Baron? In chat, and it's like, okay, yeah, we could do this.
See the maiden.
I'm just trying to zone out Jax as much as possible. That's my primary target right now. I don't want this piece of shit to ever come back into lane. Sorry, into game. Period. I'm very confident with my builds and everything, so I know for sure I can take Kindred no problem. And the ADC if she comes through. Gragas was going nuts this game though, honestly. And we're just pushing in, trying to get these towers, trying to get that lead up. I really don't want the enemy team to ever feel like they can come back into game.
It's you, they say.
Morgana dying on that ghoul is priceless, man. I, yeah, this player was tripping so hard in chat. Like, how? How did I die? What killed me? Like, you really didn't see that little minion jumped on you? God damn. That was beautiful, though. On how confused that player was, sorry. Alright, so here we got it, guys. Alright, this is a solid startup against Jax. I was thinking about like Hullbreaker, but man, with Hullbreaker, sometimes I feel like it's complete dog shit against a champion like Jax. You have defense, but it's just not enough. Like, it's just not enough, man. I don't like it. Like, if I'm facing like Darius and whatever, sure, Hullbreaker is nice, but it's just not enough. I'm like chasing this guy down. I'm like, yo, I don't give a shit. I'm fucking killing you. Like, I don't care, dude. Yeah. Like, fight me, bro. Nope. And here I was thinking, okay, maybe I should go into Executioner's Colin, because right there, if I had Executioner's Colin, he wouldn't be healing at all. This fight would have been done years ago, at least like 4 seconds or 5 seconds earlier. Yeah, so the other item that is really good against Jax that honestly Yorick players don't build is Force of Nature. Force of Nature is actually really really good against Jax. For those of you that don't know what Force of Nature is, basically the item provides you with a boatload of magic resistance, a shitload of health, and a good bit of movement speed. Now the passive of what's it called? It's Force of Nature. Basically what it does is it gives you stacks. So if you get CC, like for example from Jax's E, which you will, more or less, it actually gives you an additional stack, like extra 2 stacks, which means you only need a few more in order to stack, up to 6, a max of 6. When you reach 6, you reduce any incoming magic damage, right, by 25%, which is fucking insane. And on top of that, it also provides you with an extra 10% movement speed. So in total, you have 15% movement speed, 25% magic reduction. Okay, so any magic damage that you take from anywhere, okay, is reduced by 25%. And also remember, you have 70 magic resistance already given to you on top of that. So Jax in the long run, no way he's gonna beat you. Remember, he's hybrid. This is already like, we already like destroyed his physical damage. Now we just have to destroy his magical damage now, and then his healing, of course. And that's it. It's like complete counter. There's nothing you can do against us. Yeah, here I wasn't like too focused at all, and I should have saved that E. If I saved that E, I could have actually killed the ADC there. Yeah, I wasn't expecting Morgana to actually be there. So that was unfortunate for me, but doesn't really matter. Clear that up. We're going top side. Just notice for like the entire game, we've just been top lane. There's like no need for us to be in bot side at all. Especially if we have all that pressure, there's like no reason. Here I took the fight against Morgana and Kindred. Notice in this fight that I'm going to use my E on Kindred so my ghouls in them can attack her while I'm actually dealing with this Morgana. So let me show you guys this shit. You see my E is on her? It's like, yeah, my main is on her. I'm just dealing with Morgana. And I have another thing to show you guys later that I want you guys to focus on, because people have to understand like what else this build actually provides for Yorick. You're welcome, my man. I just think that it was the right thing to do today. So yeah, I baited these two. I made these two just because they thought like there was no one there. I'm sure they thought no one was there, but I knew Gragas was there. Anyways, let's get back to that fight with Kindred and Morgana. Okay, you guys can actually see the shit and explain to you guys what's going on here as well too. Now I explained the E process and how to actually like use your ghouls properly in a 2v2, sorry, in a 2v1 or a 1v3 situation, because you could do so much, man, with Yorick. So here Morgana just used her Q. It did absolutely nothing to me. Like, you know, if Morgana Qs you, you're basically there for the next 2,000 years. We were there for like less than 0.5 seconds or so. Like, literally. We were not CC'd at all. Now, with this build, as I said, I went to the Conqueror tree line. But we also took tenacity with that. Not only that, but you have to know that Iceborn also provides tenacity as well as slow resistance. All right, a lot of people don't really take that in. All right, so this item, it gives you, as you can see, the Mystic passive, right? Grants all legendary items 50 health. So for each legendary item that you purchase, you get 50 health. All right, so that's basically 2 here. 50 health, 5% tenacity, and 5% slow resistance. So in total, let's just say with boots, you have a total of 50 tenacity, 50% tenacity, guys, and 20% tenacity and 20% slow resistance. And if you sell your boots, that's 25% tenacity and also slow resistance. So it's pretty fucking good. Right now, I mean, you can see it in the bottom that we have 100 health, 10% tenacity, and 10% slow resistance. Tenacity in this game is extremely important, guys, because we're dealing with a Morgana, not to mention we're freaking fighting the Jax. We don't want to be CC'd for too long to the point where we can't get any damage down. We want to make sure that we have some sort of damage to provide for ourselves. We don't want his E stun to last too long, so going into this, taking tenacity, whether if it's from the resolved tree line or the precision tree line, just having, you know, the unflinching or tenacity is really important versus this matchup, guys. Please make sure to get into that. It's really important. Again, she CC'd me. It doesn't feel like nothing. It doesn't feel like nothing. No matter what, like nothing happens here. It just feels so good. And GP'd help out really well with his ultimate as well. So yeah, we could fast forward this part. Like I said, they're thinking that it's only me, so they just stayed there. Lo and behold, it wasn't just me. Alright, let's get back to where we were now.
I thank you for your service.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, this game is done. That's what I'm basing right now. So I can show you guys what I would actually build, right, when the game is over. And this is one of our final build. Now I was still debating if I wanted to go into Death Stance or Death Stance GA or Chainsword, right, which reduces a lot of healing. But just want to let you guys know, in case of people like looking at my match history, sorry, Rich is like insane right now. This is the item I want you guys to look at as well too, just in case people are like surfing through my page. This one I want you guys to look at as well. Like, this build is actually extremely good against Jax. Keep in mind, if you want to go into Grudge instead of Black Cleaver, that's up to you. That's your choice. It's not even a bad decision. You have more zoning potential or the potential to catch up to Jax just in case he's trying to flee from you. You know, that slow from Grudge is really, really good. But Black Cleaver, I was more comfortable going into that because it actually provides a lot of goodness for Iceborn as well too, because it's the slow, I believe, or the cone is based on your health percentage. So the more HP that you have, the bigger the cone, the slow cone that you have as well too. So yeah, but yeah, this is what Force of Nature does, guys. Absolutely insane, especially when you're going to be fighting Jax in the long run. This is really good against the champion. So yeah, it's not the first game I ever built Force of Nature against Jax. but I can tell you guys from my experience that it's really, really well. So yeah, that was it for this game. Any questions, class? Eventually, Iceborn plus demonic. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's fancy, but it's not good, in my opinion. For supporting, thank you guys for taking your time of day to be here to watch some of your gameplay. Apart from that, if you guys haven't followed yet, please do. For those of you that already follow, thank you very much. If you guys have Amazon Prime and you guys haven't used the sub on here, please do, guys. It's gonna definitely boost this channel up and allow me to get things that would make this channel even better. But yeah, take it easy, everyone. Hopefully I catch you guys on the next stream, but until then, peace out.